Okay, so on my channel, I normally report on news in regards to Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, and some FGC stuff, so I do not expect this video to do well or for people to have any interest in it, but it pertains to another franchise that I'm a big fan of, and that is Metal Gear Solid. So normally I do not report on unsubstantiated rumors. I like to have some evidence involved in these stories when I report them. I like to make sure that people I trust are involved. I don't want to just go around spreading rumors. There's tons of rumors going around in regards to Final Fantasy IX Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth leaks, and all that stuff is just bullshit to me. I'm waiting for official people to come out and talk about that stuff. But the reason why I feel kind of okay talking about the news surrounding Metal Gear Solid and its remakes is because of one person involved in this story, and that is the Snitch. So just to get things rolling, there are some rumors that have been flying around for quite some time now that Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was being licensed out by Konami to get a remake. And now there are some new rumors floating around saying that the original Metal Gear Solid will also be getting a remake. Couple that with the news we're about to talk about, which is directly from the Snitch, my mind just can't help but start racing and speculating on what this could mean for the future of Metal Gear Solid. So heading over to Insider Gaming, they have the quote directly from the Snitch. This is, I believe, from the Snitch's Discord server, because I think the Snitch actually did retire recently, but apparently it's like a John Wick situation. I'm thinking I'm back. So the Snitch reported in their Discord server, a reliable source has DM'd me on Twitter to say that PlayStation is about to announce third-party stuff very soon. So you're probably thinking, that says nothing about Metal Gear Solid, that's just third-party stuff. Well, Metal Gear obviously is third-party related, and there have been rumors flying around for the past 5 or 6 months or so in regards to the Metal Gear series getting remakes. And that started last year with rumors of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater actually being licensed out by Konami to a Chinese company by the name of Virtuoso, who were then being tasked to remake Snake Eater. And the reason why people thought that was a thing is because the developer themselves, Virtuoso, went onto LinkedIn and listed Konami as one of their clients, which got people speculating like, oh, Virtuoso, Konami, these rumors of Snake Eater happening, this could potentially be a thing, which leads to the newest rumor that has hit recently within the past couple of days in regards to the original Metal Gear Solid 1 also receiving a remake. Now, Metal Gear 1 has technically been remade already in the form of Twin Snakes, and although I enjoyed the game, I do remember a lot of people not liking it, so I think it's one of those games that's just kind of been thrown to the wolves, so to speak, and a lot of people have forgotten it existed, and they'd like to forget that it ever existed. But this next one is a little bit more dicey because it comes from somebody by the name of Area Hugones, who I have never heard of before. And based on the research I've done and based on what PlayStation Lifestyle is saying, this person is not the most reliable source in the world. They're pretty hit or miss when it comes to their scoops. So obviously we're going to take this with a massive grain of salt. But Area is reporting that between February and March, we will hear news in regards to a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, which would be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. And some people did think at one point that Blue Point were actually going to be the ones remaking Metal Gear Solid 1, because in Demon Souls Remake, there was an area in the game where off in the distance, it sounded like you could hear a Metal Gear roaring, which got people talking like, whoa, is that a Metal Gear? Are Blue Point going to be the ones to remake Metal Gear Solid 1? So again, none of this has been confirmed. For all we know, this person is, throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks, and then it's just going to fall flat on the floor, and then there's going to be a big poopy mess that needs to be cleaned up. But none of this really feels that far-fetched. We do know that Konami seemingly has turned somewhat of a new leaf and is interested in bringing back their IPs and making it easier for fans to play these games in some format, whether they're, digital collections and remasters and whatnot. And Sony is clearly very interested in their IPs. There was a news story that came out a couple of years ago where Sony was interested in potentially purchasing Konami's IPs. That includes Metal Gear Solid, the Castlevanias, the Silent Hills, and we're seeing what's happening currently with Silent Hill 2 getting that remake that's exclusive to the PlayStation 5, which eventually will come to PC. But Sony is clearly interested in making deals with third-party developers to, get exclusive rights to their games, including remakes. It's nothing new. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake, look at Final Fantasy 16. So this is all very interesting. So again, the Snitch is not outright saying it's Metal Gear related. He's just saying that it's third-party news that's going to come relatively soon. And with all these rumors flying around in regards to Metal Gear, my brain can't help but hope that we're going to get a Metal Gear remake or Metal Gear Solid 3. And I know some people out there are saying, what about Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty? How could you forget that game? Well, if we look at the corkboard timeline with Red String in regards to the Metal Gear franchise, technically Metal Gear Solid 3 comes first. Granted, it's a story about Big Boss and not Solid Snake, but it does come first, technically, in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. So you have Metal Gear Solid 3, and then next in the timeline would be Metal Gear Solid 1, and then third would be Metal Gear Solid 2. So if you wanted to, you could do an entire remake trilogy based on those 3 games and release them in that order, because it's technically the right canonical order for that story. But I wouldn't be shocked if we do hear something from Sony relatively soon. It's been about 5, maybe 6 months since they've held a state of play, and I'd have to assume that they've got some stuff cooking in the background that they want to talk about. So here's hoping that we do get these Metal Gear announcements, and if it's not Metal Gear Solid related, hopefully it is something really cool. So with that being said, I am Curious Corduroy. Please leave any of your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of all of these rumors flying around? Do you think we're gonna get remakes for Snake Eater as well as MGS1? Or are you hoping that maybe it's a different third-party franchise that will be announced? I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another.